Welcome back to the 210 Money Super 1 British Karting Championships. Junior TKM is up next, and earlier I caught up with his championship favourite trying to become the first ever girl to win a Junior Super 1 title.
It was gutting having the one plate taken off me at the last round. We tried super hard, but due to an accident that happened in the heats, we weren't able to get more points, so that didn't really help. But I don't think it's added much pressure because I'm good at keeping a cool head and just sticking to racing and not thinking about. I just treat it like a clubby in my head, but obviously on track I race like it's Super 1 and everything's on the line and just go for it.
And more competition this year, bigger grid, I think 30, 34 registered, something like that, and some good drivers out there. Who do you think you've seen so far that's going to provide you with the biggest challenge?
There's a lot of new people on the grid, and a lot of them are showing good potential to get in the way of me maybe getting the one this year, but the main people are probably Kurt Roberts, Theo Hesketh, James Pashley. They're the main ones looking so far.
And interesting that we've seen some cadets coming through to Junior TKM this year, which is very positive, and a few of them be going very well as well.
Yeah, I think Zach Oates, he was in a cadet a while ago, and then Ethan Newsham, he was in a cadet, and he's shown to be good at the festival.
So with Abby pulling on the fifth row, it's the rookie Theo Hesketh who starts from the front with James Pashley alongside. Take a look through the mid-pack as well. There's a few drivers who are going to fight through. Ian Sisson from 13th on the grid. Theo Edgerton and Isaac Marsh leading the rookie charge towards the tail end, Charlie. But watch Abby pulling from row 5. It looks like Pashley's going to have a bit of a charge here, but it's Theo Hesketh who gets into the lead. We're on board with Kurt Roberts. That is McIntyre in front of us. Abby pulling to the right as well. And it looks like there's a couple of drivers in the mix. Marsh and Oswig have gone through the chicane. Now, the question is, did Abby pulling avoid that? Scott McIntyre did. Yes, pulling did avoid it. So we're back on board. And it looks as though Kurt Roberts is going to be all right. Up the inside for the lead. Is that going to be the march through for Pashley? No. Theo Hesketh, the rookie, hangs on.
Abby Pulling was very lucky not to get caught up in that incident coming out of the chicane. She's already had a poor day by her standards so far. She's made up another place on McIntyre. But by her standards, she's not had the best day. Came into this final, the first final of the season this is, by the way. There are two finals on the weekend. We filmed this one because the weather is deteriorating. We're not sure final 2 will take place. So we're filming final 1. We normally film final 2. But Abby Pulling comes into this final in 9th and will be looking to move forward. But she's been struggling this weekend so far.
Well, it looks as though we've got Theo Hesketh at the front doing a great job. And in 4th position, it's another rookie, Archie Strong, in the 63, who's right up in there with Pashley and Deal. And he could make a little bit of a push for the front. There he is, the 63. You can just see him on the tail end of these three up front. But Theo Hesketh, the rookie, there he is. He is going to be an absolute lightning bolt in this championship if this is anything to go by.
Abby Pulling has tipped him herself, of course, in that interview earlier on. She said he will be one to watch. She wasn't joking. Look at the rain coming down again.
Oh yeah, in the wet conditions, they're having to really tiptoe their way through the stewardesses and down the hill on the run to St John's. It's really tricky in these stages. There is Abby Pulling though, the number 2, still working hard to work her way through to the front. It's difficult in these conditions because you want to be aggressive, you want to charge your way through, and Abby Pulling definitely knows how to do that in front of Kurt Roberts at the moment. But here at Rowra, it's an abrasive circuit in the wet. You've got to give it lots of respect. You can't just banzai corner by corner. You have to be really, really delicate. Back on board with Roberts. That is just about Abby Pulling in front of us. It's really hard to tell in the wet conditions, but Pulling is now trying to close up on Alex Page to get that 5th position off him.
Pulling is getting closer to the carts in front. She's dragging Kurt Roberts along with her. Kurt is another driver that Abby recognises, one that she's going to have to beat this year if she's going to win the championship title. There are several drivers who have stepped up to the plate. Hesketh, Deal and Pashley, 1, 2, 3 in this race.
Look at the rain.
3 of them.
Look at the rain. It's absolutely
Shucking
apocalyptic. We've got Hesketh leading it from Deal and Pashley. Archie Strong. Oh, getting a bit of a challenge though, Archie, from Rob Wellham. This is going to be an interesting one if Wellham can get through. He's working incredibly hard here in the 93. Lots of privateers in this class, of course, and that means that there's going to be added bonuses to get through if you can make it stick. But it's a rookie that is in 1st, 3rd and 4th. It's a great year for Junior TKM at the moment. This is Abby Pulling we're watching on board with Kurt Roberts in their battle for 7th position. So let's have a look. Ashley has got past Deal, so too has Rob Wellham now. So Wellham through into third position. This is going to be a really exciting battle if it keeps up, but Theo Hesketh still running up the front, and then this is going to be side by side. That's Alex Page, the privateer, trying to make the move there on Archie Strong, can't make the move stick, and Abby Pulling is actually struggling to keep up with them at the moment.
He is. Rob Wellham made up a place into the top three at the end of that last lap. Ross Deal's transponder, I don't think is working.
No.
Because as he goes through the line, it tends to not recognise his transponder, and then the timekeeper is adding him in, obviously. So there is Ross Deal on the 10, that's James Pashley on the 9. So as he goes through the line here, Deal, watch him, he won't recognise his transponder. There you go.
They're going to add him manually in a moment. He'll just
you'll
shoot up. There he goes.
There you go. That's the timekeeper recognising on the ball there, recognising that a driver's transponder's not working. So keep an eye out for him as he goes through the line. When he sees him go through the line, he'll add him back in, and he'll come back in, and he's actually obviously back into the top three, up the inside of Rob Wellham. Wellham back down to fourth place, but a good performance by Wellham. He's not the leading rookie though in fourth place. That's Theo Hesketh out front, the race winner, the race leader, I should say. If
Don't
he wins the
jinx
race.
it.
Oh, and there is.
Oh, Pulling's making the move. That's a really close one on Strong, but she runs back behind Kurt Roberts now. So it's going to be Roberts making the charge after Archie Strong. Here he goes up the inside. Nicely done. Now Abby Pulling's got to take advantage of this if she can. But Archie Strong is getting back on the toe. Now let's watch this again.
Great driving here by Kurt Roberts. Watch this. He's already made the place.
Strong's all over the place.
Well, yeah, well, actually, I think there was a little bit of a tap there, to be fair. If that's been seen by the officials, they may take some action,
tricky.
but I'm not sure. But look at that. Look how high that curb is. And we've already seen the penalty for the race winner earlier on, when he wasn't headed ever in the race. He's obviously hit a curb and knocked his nose cone back. And you can see how high that curb is as Kurt Roberts went across it.
Well,
and they're all risking their front nose cones knocked back in a 10-second penalty.
They are. Well, that's dropped Abby Pulling down to 8th position now. It's Hesketh from Pashley, Deal, Wellham. Page is now 5th, by the way. Roberts is 6th ahead of Strong. Pulling is now 8th position, so she's got some more work to do. Oates is 9th from Sisson. Then Scott McIntyre in the 11th position doing well. McKeown, Albone, Butterworth, and then it's Liam Hurrell at the 15th position mark. Hesketh and Pashley have managed to break clear a little bit, actually, in front of Ross Deal in 3rd. Then Wellham, Page, Roberts, Strong, Pulling. This is going to be difficult for Roberts to deal with now because he's got a face full of muck and rubbish in Alex Page. Meanwhile, further back, that's a great move up the inside from Zach Taylor as he gets wheel to wheel with Louis Harvey. Harvey's going to come back. That was beautifully done. That is a textbook how to get the undercut when someone's overtaken you there from Louis Harvey. Brilliantly done. Back towards the front battle, and it's Archie Strong trying to hold off Abby Pulling. While up the road, we've got Wellham, Page, Roberts. And this is on board with Roberts. That was a little bit of a tap there, I think, from Page on the back of Wellham. Look at how heavy it's getting. This is ridiculous.
It's the heavens have opened, and there's a risk here of the meeting being abandoned if this rain keeps coming down, because the water will pool on certain parts of the circuit. But at the moment, this race is going on, and how interesting is it? Theo Hesketh out front, by the way.
Here comes Roberts.
Down the
this
inside.
isn't going to work, surely.
No.
Oh, well, that was close. That almost ended in tears for both of them because Roberts trying an incredibly ambitious move into the first corner. But yeah, this is getting ridiculous. It's up the inside. Strong, that's the 48, sorry. That was a bit cheeky.
Great race action.
Page goes up the inside of Rob Wellham and then just skates out to the outside, manages to collect it back together again. But once again, proof there's about 17 lines through McRae's in these conditions, and that was the most bizarre one I've seen all weekend. But again, Alex Page comes back to the back of Rob Wellham as Hesketh, Pashley and Deal are disappearing out front now. Abby Pulling just can't seem to get close enough to the Roberts Strong battle to make any impression, and it's not easy to when the rain continues to come down. This is Lake Rowra at the moment. It's absolutely appalling. And it doesn't help, of course, that we're in a quarry because the drainage is not going to be particularly on the side of the drivers or the organisers at this point. We're back on board with Roberts, again chasing down Alex Page. just about see him through the camera lens. Really tricky, plenty of curve on the third apex of the chicane as we run down towards McRae's once again. Back to the leaders. That's the first mistake Theo Hesketh has made all race. He just drops 2 wheels onto the muck. Now, if you're a Facebooker, you can, of course, keep up to date with what's happening with Super 1. Facebook.com/Super 1 series. It gets updated regularly. And obviously, it keeps you up to date with all of the ins and outs of the British Karting Championships here at Super 1. Now, Theo Hesketh bouncing over the curbs on the way out of Stewart-S's. Watch this battle for 4th position. It is getting really intense between Wellham, Page and Roberts. Somebody's going to have to break the deadlock. And look at that. Just a little mistake there from Wellham. That's all it takes to give Alex Page the carrot. He's going to go for it here. Roberts might get an opportunity up the inside. He's going to try very late to get on the throttle. It's not quite going to be enough on this occasion. We're into the last lap, side by side. That's not going to work, Alex. Back out of it. The problem is Kurt Roberts is going very quickly indeed. Page is the fastest man on the track, by the way. He's actually 0.2 of a second quicker than the leader, Theo Hesketh. Up the inside. That's lovely. Beautifully timed from Page. He's up to 4th position. But is Rob Wellham going to be able to come back at him? Interestingly, the rain is so heavy that the whole circuit is a river down towards us. Back up the inside. Wellham takes the place back on Page. I was going to say there's not much of a puddle on the way down to Iredale's because the whole circuit is a river. Look at this. It's absolutely appalling conditions as we go back on board with Roberts. Well, he can't even get on the throttle quick enough, Alex Page. And Roberts is having to nerf him as they go through to get round the corner.
Got to be careful there. It may knock his front nose cone in. Look at the rain coming down. It's amazing. Theo Hesketh it is going to take the win through paddock for the final time.
What a drive. What a drive. Theo Hesketh has been absolutely mighty. Checkered flag and a rookie wins the first final of the season. And it's going to be nearly 3 abreast over the line for 4th position. Pashley is 2nd from Deal. Page just beats Wellham and Roberts. Strong is 7th. 9 drivers are going to get the penalty for nose cones, including 3 of them from the top 10. So we need to sort out this finishing order, and it's all because of nose cones over those high curbs. So it's Hesketh that wins it. Pashley is 2nd from Deal. Wellham is 4th. Roberts is up to 5th. Pulling is 6th, so that's a good recovery from her. Sisson is 7th, a great run from Scott McIntyre, and the 2 rookies, McKeown and Albone, in the top 10. That means that Hesketh leads the points jointly with James Pashley, who is both of them 1 point ahead of Ross Deal. Wellham a further 5 points back. After the break, the champion is back in TKM Extreme, but problems already.